Good morning.
Good
Relax
morning.
Radio.
That was a test.
That was a test. It is Saturday, the 12th of September. Yes, I did just check my phone for that. Morning, Rach.
9:05 a.m.
9:05 a.m. How are we doing?
Yeah, good. Been up for about 2 hours today.
I mean, that makes one of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a morning owl.
No?
If that's a thing. A morning sparrow? Night owl?
Early bird.
Early bird.
Just early bird.
Not for me. How's your week been?
Yeah, good, thank you. Super busy. How's your week been?
Yeah, no.
Apart from being tired.
Yeah, no, super relaxed, which has been really nice.
Relaxed. See what you did there.
Good
one.
Pun in 9:05, too early. So I think we should probably begin with the elephant in the room, which is COVID and the new restrictions that have been introduced.
Yeah. So as of Monday, I'm just getting my information from the BBC. Groups of no more than 6 people will be allowed to meet. It will actually be against the law to do that. So, pick your friends essentially.
Very wisely.
But this is a huge inconvenience to you because you've got a birthday coming up.
Massively inconvenient.
Massively important birthday as well. You're turning 50.
Exactly. Well, it's a seminal moment. Half a century is definitely something to celebrate. No, I am turning 24 in a couple of weeks.
Which is still pretty seminal.
Every birthday counts at this point. I feel like I'm ticking down the time.
Yeah,
it's
You're getting old.
past me. But yeah, so I haven't celebrated my birthday properly in a couple of years, and I was hoping this year to go for a UK garage bingo night. It does exist apparently in Camden. I booked for a group of 10 of us on the 2nd of October. I booked my tickets on the 3rd, having read the terms and conditions of the event, like hosts, to say that your tickets are non-refundable and the date cannot be transferred. Like if you can't attend, the only circumstance they'll actually do a refund is if obviously the event is cancelled itself. So the event can still go ahead, I believe, because for some unknown reason you can be there in a room of like 50 or so people when you're not with over six people, but you can't go with over 6 people, and I've booked 10 tickets.
Did they have a COVID clause anywhere in there? Did they say did they have like an update or anything?
No, on the website there is a link to the government's guidelines on COVID, so they are very much aware of it.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, I think you'd have to be living under a rock not to be. So I've basically just emailed everyone I possibly can, being like, please, I know there was like a term and condition that I couldn't get a refund, but this is out of my control.
Yeah, it is. And so, it was announced when? On the 9th?
It was announced on the 9th, and obviously it comes into play on Monday.
Yeah.
I've never really understood this Monday rule. It's like, what, so we're giving COVID like a 3-day head start here? Like, what is the point of Monday? But
well, I guess it's better than a Saturday, isn't it?
True. I mean, if anyone had like weekend plans this weekend, it would be really annoying to have to cancel everything. Yeah, it's just slightly annoying. It couldn't have held off for like a couple more weeks, but there we go. Our rate cannot be helped, and it is all for the greater good.
Yeah,
we hope.
Of course. And what is happening with university? Because you still haven't gone back yet, have you?
No, so we're due to go back on the 21st of September.
Okay.
Excuse me. So we've just had bits of emails from uni just being like, so things are all going to be online at least until January. I'd like to have more clarification on how the library is going to be open. I know it is open. I know you need to book slots, but how busy is it going to be? Can I just turn up? Because booking a slot in the QM library, Rach and I both went to Queen Mary in East London, and it is a very small library for quite a few students. So I'm hoping that I can just kind of turn up as and when I want, because it can be a bit of a commitment in advance to like book out your slot kind of thing. But not sure how it's going to be operating right now. And it is all a bit bizarre. The uni is issuing every student with like 2 face masks. Although we're not really expected to be on campus, so I don't really know what the point of this is.
I guess just for general protection, maybe.
Yeah, I guess so. Out of the goodness of their hearts. I don't know who's funding this, but Yeah, I found a petition actually earlier this week to it's like a government one to try and like lower the fees for this year. Just because we are getting so little teaching.
I mean, it is a very, very tricky situation when you're paying $9,000 a year for a university course that you could essentially be doing from your bedroom.
Well, I will be doing it from my bedroom. Yeah.
And there's not going to be any of the usual happenings of university. There's not going to be a freshers week, or even if there will be, it's supposedly a virtual freshers week.
Yeah, so we've had some emails about freshers week, which just sounds terrible.
Freshers week is overrated. Anyway, I'm just gonna say
it is. But I mean, everyone goes for the free pizza. Let's not lie.
I didn't.
No,
I know. I missed out.
Babe,
I regret not getting
free
pizza. But I do think in general, it's a very unpopular opinion, but I do think freshers is slightly overrated.
Oh no! I think it's a fairly popular opinion, 100%.
Yeah, but it is a rite of passage, I guess. It's the start of university. Yeah, it's the first, big hurrah there is at university.
Exactly.
It's a great way to meet new people and kind of, get out a lot of stress and
I can't say I gained any enjoyment from dragging my hungover body around the Leeds Freshers Fair. It was absolutely terrible. I felt so jaded.
Yeah.
But equally, I couldn't have done it without it. I needed to experience
It's a really great stepping stone and a great first thing to do at university.
I mean, I think it turned me off vodka for the rest of my life, so that's probably a good thing. Sorry, it's too early to be speaking about spirits. But so they're doing an online freshers fair, which should be interesting. So various societies are like holding their own like Zoom meetings that you can then like tune into.
Right.
But I feel like that's the kind of thing that you'd have to know you were interested in to attend a Zoom meeting. That's a bit of a commitment. If you're wandering around a fair, you might like come across a stall that looks interesting and be like, hey, like, never thought about like, I don't know, zombie apocalypse society. But it's not the kind of Zoom you'd be like, sit down and be like, I'm gonna schedule this into my day.
And actually that's part of the great thing about the Freshers Fair is that you walk around all of these stalls and you hear about things that you would never otherwise come across. So how else would you hear about the Harry Potter Society, for example? And also, what if you don't have social media or Facebook or something, which I know quite a lot of students do at the moment, actually. Exactly. Quite a lot of students are doing a kind of U-turn on social media. So if you don't have social media or Facebook, which are usually the platforms that the society use to kind of get out there,
massively agree.
To gain popularity and to be and to have an online presence and to appeal to students, it's a really great way of meeting other students, of course, meeting former students, meeting older students, and getting involved in the society. It's a really, really wonderful thing. And there's just so much that you can see and sign up to during the Freshers Week. And I know, I mean, I speak for myself when I say I signed up for about 20 different societies.
I mean, I think you and I
went
in similar
to about
boats.
2.
Absolutely, that was completely me.
But that's absolutely fine, because the whole point is that you sign up for all of these things. You could go to all of them, and then you figure out, right, okay, I really like netball. I really like this society.
Exactly.
I'm going to stick with it, kind of thing. It does. Yeah, I have quite a lot of questions for this virtual one.
I mean, they're doing their best. I think that's all they can really do at this point. I know we've got some like opening like third year talks. I'm going into my final year at Queen Mary. So we've got a couple of talks with like the head of the year about like the various things that we'll have to be doing this year, dissertation being one of them, which is terrifying.
You'll have someone from the careers department speak to you as well. That'll be fun.
Okay. I look forward to it. Yeah, thanks, hon. But I can't imagine starting my university experience in this climate at all.
But in that sense, we have been very, very lucky in that we have had I've had all of my university experience pre-corona. So we've experienced, like, I do feel like after I think just life in general is going to be divided into before and after corona. I think universities, especially, the class of COVID this year, for example, it is going to be a case of it's like before and after the coronavirus. If you went to uni before the coronavirus, great. If you went to uni after the coronavirus, it's going to be 2 completely different worlds. I think it is going to be like the change
Absolutely.
It's just going to be, it's going to be huge, I think.
And obviously, even when we've got a vaccine, I just feel like a lot of university will just be online, because it is so much easier for everyone to facilitate. It just is a shame. I remember in my second year, one of my lecturers had like a habit of like having very interactive lectures. So on one occasion, I do history, and he like kind of set out the lecture hall like a music hall, and had like a pianist come in and brought champagne and all of
very
that.
Nice.
I mean, you don't
very
get
classy.
that on Zoom. It's very,
No, I
they'll
know.
be missing out.
So what do we think of online lectures versus real life lectures? Because I know a lot of students, even when I was at uni last year, I know a lot of students who wouldn't go to their lectures because they knew that their lectures would A, be being recorded, and B, would be uploaded online. So there wasn't really any need for them to physically be at the lecture, apart from obviously signing off on the register.
Absolutely.
Which you can obviously get your friends to do. I obviously say nothing. I went to all of my lectures. I never once texted a friend and said, can you sign me off on the register? And also they count. So lecturers are smart. So if they've
got our number.
100%. and if there's 20 people signed off on the register and only 10 of them there, there's good. Anywho, so I did not do any of that, of course.
No.
So what do we think? Online lectures, are they better, or what do we prefer? I'm a dinosaur, as you know. I much prefer going to the actual lecture, maybe following up with the lecture online afterwards if there's homework to be done or whatever. But I think the whole point of going to university is physically being there. It's speaking to your professors, it's getting out of the house, and but I'm very, very old.
Well,
if you know.
Rach, let's not go there. If you're a dinosaur, I'm a cave woman, because I am completely the same. I only recently transitioned to bringing a laptop to my lectures. Like, I was still the one that was like writing on pen and paper.
Yeah, me too. Love a pen and paper. And you see,
there were like two of us. I was like, solidarity for the pen and paper crew. Come on, like 96 babies.
Old fashioned.
So I personally found that it was really useful to have my lectures recorded online.
It's definitely useful, and
so it was really nice to be able to go back through them, etc. Or if I had to miss it one day because of like an appointment or something, that was really good. But I do think that seminars, you just don't have that kind of back and forward interaction with people when it's online, especially when like normally, how they were doing it for me last semester was like a lot of our mics were muted. So it was actually only the professor that had theirs on, which makes sense, because in a class of 10 you can't all just be like gabbling away. And
really?
And we could contribute to the group chat on like the side on like Microsoft Teams.
It's just not the same though.
I know, and like it takes me a long time to type, and so I'd like type out a response and then it would be answered already, and I'd be like, God damn it, like what am I doing?
So we should point out the difference between lectures is that lectures are typically bigger. It's usually like 25 to 30 people. There's usually a presentation. But seminars is much more concentrated. There are far fewer of you. And seminars are much more, as you say, interactive. It's
lectures is kind of like a monologue from the professor. Seminars are where you kind of like get your teeth into it.
And you discuss things, you talk about whatever it is that you're studying. If you're talking about a book, for example, if you're talking about a piece of literature or whatever, that's where you can really interact with other students and get to know one another, and study, which
it just feels like kind of like lecture 1 and lecture 2 right now, because like we'll just be having the same lecture from maybe another professor basically as a seminar, with the option of contributing to like a chat. So this year we're not even going to be having to attend the lectures live, so they're pre-recording them in like 15-minute chunks and posting them to QM+, which is the platform that we access all of our like online media through at uni. So they're not even on our timetable actually. I've got my timetable now, and I've only like got 3 scheduled like seminars. The lectures, we have to factor them in, but we can do them literally whenever. Like I posted on a Monday morning for like across the school.
See, that lack of structure is going to be very, very detrimental, I think. Like the lack of just like, you can do it whenever kind of thing, rather than saying, right, okay, you need to be there at 9 o'clock on a Monday morning. Sounds hideous, but and you know, it might be a bit hideous, but it still gives you a routine, it gives you structure.
Yeah.
I think if there's a lack of structure, that's gonna just turn off a lot of students.
Be the breaking point.
Yeah, and also when you're a student, you know, you're not gonna, you know, no one's controlling you. You've not got anyone saying you must go to lectures, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's down to you.
Yeah.
And if there's not that structure in place and you're not disciplined, then it falls on you, doesn't it?
Completely. I feel quite fortunate
disciplined.
to be living at home this year, just because it does kind of give me that, I wouldn't say structure, but I'd say I know my routine at home.
Yeah.
Whereas if I was kind of like mid moving out, and kind of a bit all over the place currently, I'd feel quite like not really with an anchor, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Whereas now I do know, you know, I had a routine at home when I was at college and sixth form and studying for my A levels, and I can replicate that quite easily at home now. I'm kind of in that headspace in my room, that I'm kind of in that like uni routine. Whereas I think if I was like mid, you know, trying to move out, find a flat now and everything, I'd be finding things like a lot harder.
Yeah, absolutely. And what is happening with Drapers as well? So Drapers is the on-campus bar / social area. It's kind of a mix of everything, isn't it? Have you not?
I've never been to Drapers.
Oh, it's good. It's good.
Yeah,
well,
no, I've heard good things.
Yeah. Well, it's strange. So during the day, it is a it's just kind of like a social. It's a bar. It's a restaurant. There's a pool table. Kind of, it's kind of like a pub, but not quite like a pub. And then during the night, it becomes a nightclub essentially, and they open up the bottom half of it, and that's where you go for freshers, I guess. I'm pretty sure most freshers events took place in Drapers, and but yeah, who knows what is going to happen with Drapers?
Yeah, well, I know that it's open, because I did get an email saying that all the outlets were open, including Drapers.
Okay, good.
I think it's probably just operating as some kind of like pub bar right now. I mean, obviously all the events like Hail Mary, which is like, just I need to attend at some point. I feel like it's seminal for every Queen Mary student to attend a Hail Mary.
Yeah, but again, Hail Mary is, for those who aren't familiar, it's the last Wednesday of the month. It's when all societies of the university just gather at Drapers, and they all gather in their societies, and it's like a competition to see who can be the loudest, who can be the craziest, and there's lots and lots of drinking. It's good fun, but that is a time when, you know, all of the societies get together. So if there are no societies, what is going to happen with Hail Mary? And obviously people who aren't in societies can still go, but it is a huge social societal bubble.
Absolutely.
But obviously we don't know what's going on with the societies. We don't know what is actually going on at Drapers. And with this new restriction announced, we don't even know if Drapers is even going to be open. I mean, it doesn't sound
completely. Well, I think again, operating in some other form. My friend, actually, she did her year abroad in Berlin, and she was there in her second semester, like when all the restrictions started being implemented. And there's like a very famous club in Berlin called like the Berghain. I'm not in any way comparing Drapers to the Berghain for any German listeners. I'm sorry, massive insult. But it's now reopened actually as an art gallery.
Okay.
So I mean, I think venues are trying to optimize their space and make an income any which way they can. I don't expect Drapers to be opening as an art gallery, but I think, you know, as
interesting
like a bar,
art.
as like a bar or something.
Pool table.
I mean anything is art these days. But I'm hoping that they can keep themselves afloat, because it would be a massive shame to lose something like that on campus for like next year and everything.
Yeah, it would be.
But yeah, no, it's just going back to kind of like not being able to meet people, etc. I think it's so odd for like freshers, etc. Being in like their 6-person bubble now, because obviously you won't have access to kind of like, not that there were like massive wild parties in all the uni halls, but you know, maybe next door's having like drinks or something. Suddenly, you know, you can't go. There are 6 of you in your bubble, and that is who you like, you know, interact with. Which is terrifying, because it was bad enough, I think, for me, going into my flat of 6 in first year, being like, so these need to be my friends. I've got to get on with them. But also knowing that I can leave, and I can also be really good friends with like my friend in the block next to me, who
Yeah.
that's what actually happened for me. Whereas now you really are kind of like selling your soul to the devil. It's
Yeah.
like you sign up to your flat, you kind of need to get on or move out, because it's going to be difficult.
And also, what if you don't get on that well with your flatmates, for example?
Yeah.
Not through any fault of your own. Maybe you might just be very different people. They might just, you might just be on different pages. What happens then if you don't get on with them? Because that happens a lot. You move in with a group of strangers, it's bound to happen. You're not going to connect with everybody that you meet, and obviously you've all got different sleeping arrangements. Sometimes flatmates can be very, very loud. These things happen.
Definitely was not me.
No, of course not. No, me neither. But yeah, there are just, I think it's just a question of waiting and seeing what happens, really.
Yeah, I mean, potentially having to like quarantine with a new flat or something. Just a bit of a mess.
That's a good way to get to know people, surely.
I mean, it's a hardcore way to get to know people. It's kind of like 4 strangers being stuck in a lift and like, fight for your life.
Absolutely.
But yeah, we should probably go for a quick ad break now.
Yes, we will.
But stay tuned for more from the the uni show.
Yeah,
the radio show, indeed.
We're both.
আপনি হয়তোবা জানেন না যে রেডিও অ্যাডভার্টাইজমেন্ট ইজ 4 times more powerful than any other media. রিল্যাক্স রেডিওতে যদি অ্যাডভার্টাইজ করতে চান তাহলে আমাদেরকে আজই যোগাযোগ করুন on 020-7474-9292. আমাদের সাথে অ্যাডভার্টাইজ করুন from £99 a month. Increase your business by advertising on Relax Radio.
It's time for a show on Relax Radio. It talks about me and you. It's time for a show on Relax Radio. It talks about me and you. So listen to us, 24 hours, and let the happiness come to you on Relax Radio. Tune in to Relax Radio.
It has been too long. No one has taken the initiative to know who you are and what you do. Well, Relax proudly presents Relax Media to unite and expose all media-related personalities under one umbrella. If you are an artist or maybe you're looking for one, look no further. Log on to www.relaxmedia.com. RELAKS media.com. In return, you get a free webpage and exposure to wider fan appreciation and contacts. Also, optional personal manager. Don't delay. Relax Radio.
Welcome back
There we
to
are. We're
the
back.
uni show. So before the break, we were discussing freshers and how that's going to be functioning now. In these strange socially distanced times.
Yes, and also dating. How is that going to happen? A lot
Well,
of people who go to uni.
Absolutely. I mean, I think a lot of people go to uni kind of with that expectation of you'll meet the love of your life, or you'll get like random hookups at the very least.
Isn't that the truth?
But yeah, it is strange now. Do you is this too personal to ask? Do you use any kind of like apps or anything, or?
Well.
No judgments here.
Funny you should ask that. I was out with a friend last weekend, and I'd actually been having that same conversation with her about kind of online apps and everything, and I've always been like, I don't like it. I don't like the online world. It's too weird.
100%. We've all been there.
Yeah,
Denial.
It's too weird. It's just But she's been saying to me for ages, and quite a few of my friends actually have been saying, you need to get Hinge, because Hinge is just...
I have heard good things about Hinge.
Yeah, everyone raves about it. It's different to other dating apps in the sense that you can upload a bit, you can answer a few questions, you can say the best thing about, I don't know, your favorite TV series, or the we'll get on if, you know, you like dogs or something like that, or something.
I quite like that idea.
Yeah, something quite witty.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was out on last Saturday, and she, after a few drinks, she just said, give me your phone.
Yeah.
And downloaded it for me and set up my profile for me.
Okay.
And it's actually been so much fun.
Has it?
Yeah, I mean, I can so see what they mean about, it being a lot better than other dating apps, in the sense that you're kind of getting a bit more personality out of it than usual. And yeah, it's I'm having a great time.
So my friend described Tinder as
Tinder's not great.
No, but as like Instagram, but with more like endorphins. Like you're getting more like kind of gratification from someone like swiping on your profile than on like liking a picture or something.
Yeah. What about you? Are you on any of those apps?
Yes. So when I was back in the day, when I was about 18, obviously I went on everything, and then went through like, I don't know, a 3-year kind of like hiatus of no apps, it's fine, I can function, I can find someone in this time.
Oh yeah.
I recently re-downloaded Tinder and Bumble. Bumble seems to be kind of similar to Hinge. You can like answer some like witty kind of questions.
Yeah.
But like the girl has to message first, which I really love, because a lot of the time I can like be mindlessly swiping, or potentially swiping when drunk. This doesn't happen often, obviously.
Of course not.
No, but then you kind of get cold feet, and then the guy messages you and you're like, do I reply or do I just like leave it? So I like that Bumble, I am in control, and if I don't message them in 24 hours, our match then expires.
Right.
And we are unmatched forevermore. It is, you know, your chance is gone. The universe, the cosmos has shut that door.
What if you're just bad on your phone and you just forget to reply though?
I mean, that is not meant to be, right?
Yeah.
You just got to roll with it.
Okay.
I don't actually also get notifications from these apps, so often that they do expire, and I'm like, that was a good egg.
Oh well,
damn it. But yeah, I've never actually, prior to like maybe several weeks ago, I've never met up with someone from a dating app.
No.
In real life. I've always been very scared.
Yeah, it is.
I think it's been drummed into me at school. Like, you know, you don't know who's there, like who's behind the camera.
Yeah.
Catfish, etc.
Yeah. Absolutely.
The guy that I did end up going on a first date with, who I met online, we FaceTimed first, which was really nice.
Yeah, that's quite a big step.
Yeah, so he was really pushing for that, and I was like, oh gosh, like I don't know if I want to, like I hate calls in general, even with really close friends. I'm not keen on like calls with people. I prefer either texting or in real life. But he was like, yeah, I would feel more comfortable myself if we could do a FaceTime. And I was like, hey, that's a good sign. So we did FaceTime like once or twice before the date, and that was really good.
Yeah.
And
that is good.
A lot of my friends have now started doing this too, because I was like to them, so I FaceTimed him first, and although it didn't work out, I'm not going to see him again, at least like, you know, we got on enough as people that it was not like a terrible night out. It was really nice actually. And yeah, so several of my friends have messaged me like in the last few weeks, just being like, yeah, I FaceTime my date as well.
Yeah.
Just to kind of suss it out. Like, is there any point even going out with you?
Yeah.
And I think that's something that wasn't so common pre-COVID.
Yeah, I agree.
But just because it was so easy to see someone, whereas now you've really got to kind of plan things in and like book a venue.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people, you know, are distancing or shielding, and online, like, you know, video calls are the only option.
Yeah, and also you have to be considerate of the other person as well. If they say, you know, I don't feel comfortable going to a pub at the moment, or going to a bar or something, you've got to then say, right, okay, so then what do we do, kind of thing.
Absolutely.
So,
I don't know about you, would you ever like meet anyone in person from like an app? Or
maybe. I think it does depend, and actually that's the good thing about Hinge, is that if you are you kind of get to talk to someone a little bit before you meet them, and it's not usually, it's usually just kind of like a comment on one of their pictures or one of their answers. You can have a bit of back and forth, like, oh, what did you think of The Office? Oh, it's really cool. Oh, kind of thing. And then you say, so where in London are you based? You say, oh, I'm here. Where are you? And they say, oh, do you want to meet for a drink? And then it's literally like a couple of messages, a couple of back and forth, and then it's like, right, okay, we'll meet for a drink kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which is good, I think, because you haven't got any of that, hi, how are you? Where are you from? Kind of thing. And all of that, usual stuff that kind comes with talk. Yeah. So it can be quite a nice way of just saying to someone, let's meet for a drink. And obviously, if you're going to a public space, you're going to a pub, where there are people around, it is safe.
Yeah, you'd hope.
Yeah.
You'd hope. I know that, like, for friends, etc., it can be helpful to, like, turn on location.
Absolutely. And also tell, I tell quite a lot of people I'm going, to this pub to meet this person.
Yeah.
And I have quite a few nice friends, because they'll then say, right, okay, call me if, things aren't going well, kind of thing. Or text to say, maybe if your date goes to the loo at one point, say, text someone during that time and say, it's not going well, I'm going to come home, kind of thing.
No, absolutely.
Like,
kind of for everyone's peace of mind.
Yeah, that is the only good thing about having phones, is that you can communicate with people instantly, almost.
Yeah, no, it is brilliant.
So it is a really good way of just making sure that you keep in touch with people and that you feel comfortable as well, because it can be quite intimidating meeting someone that you've never met before. And but I think you do have to remember that they're probably just as nervous as you are as well.
Yeah, you'd hope so.
Yeah, well.
But yeah, no, it reassured me as well that this was like his first kind of like in-person date, which was really, really nice. It kind of felt like we were on the same page of like really anxious about it, hence the FaceTiming, which is really good. I got the shock of my life logging back into Tinder though from when I was 18.
Oh gosh.
So when I deleted
was Tinder even around then?
It was.
Oh my
gosh. Back in the Stone Age. When I last deleted it, my flatmate at uni had actually changed all my settings. So put me as like my interested like age range as like 75 to 90.
Right.
Made me interested in like, men and women and all these other like really random settings. Also like increased my like circumference of like where I'm happy to meet people to like 2,000k or something, and I was like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I was getting loads of like people popping up, like 70-year-old men.
Oh god.
In like Penzance, and I was like, this is not right. I just I don't think my Tinder's functioning. Checked my settings. Yeah. It wasn't me, but it was quite, I mean, it was slightly hilarious. Sadly, I didn't match with any of them.
But did they see you?
They must.
Or would it have depended on their settings?
It would. No. They all the ones that I can see in my Tinder, they can see me, which is even more worrying.
That is quite worrying,
because they have put down that they're interested in 18-year-olds, 24-year-old girls.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Moving on from that. Yeah. So
that is quite concerning. Tinder, you should get on that, please.
Yeah. Make some kind of. Although love knows no bounds, we are told. But yeah, like dating aside, like a lot of things are operating just kind of like through Skype, webinars, conferences.
Yeah.
So I've got like a Cosmopolitan magazine is holding like kind of a you want to work in media like talk online. And it's just like so convenient that I can just sign myself up for this webinar. Yeah. I don't need to buy a ticket. I don't need to go anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't need to, as in there's like a limited number of spaces, but like limited to about like 250, whatever Zoom can like hold. So a lot of things are just functioning a lot more smoothly, and we have far more access to with these kind of like socially distanced platforms.
And it also saves you from having to travel to the venue as well, having to pay money for transport, having to drive or anything.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that I'm like a member of like the Guardian Students, and like a lot of their events are just like massively subsidized now, because they cannot kind of condone charging the full amount university for not attending in person. So well,
that's the question that universities face at the moment now, isn't it? Is
Absolutely.
how can they charge students full price for, you know, is it £9,000 a year?
It's
is that right?
£9,225.
Is that for the entire year?
Yes.
Okay, so over 3 years, that is quite a lot of money.
It's a significant amount. And then there's obviously interest,
Yes.
which is liable to increase at any time, I am told.
And there's also a student loan as well. There's funding yourself when you're at university. So funding,
all the expenses that go with it.
accommodation, food, obviously. So yeah, there's a huge amount of debt you can get yourself into when you're at university. But having said that, after you graduate university, obviously depending on the job that you get and depending on your salary, you do have the option of paying that back. But you are going to be paying that back for quite a long time. And I think actually, I mean, I don't know whether or not it's a good thing to tell a student this before they go to university, but when I was 18, I didn't have a clue about any of that. Like I did not. I did, like, I knew that obviously you had to pay to go to university, but I didn't think I'm going to be in debt for the rest of my life, basically. Yeah. And I kind of, I don't know, sometimes I think, oh, I wish someone would have told me, but then I also think it wouldn't have changed me going to university, though, I don't think.
No,
well maybe it would have, but I can't imagine not having gone to university now.
No. So Rach, you're from Swansea.
Yes.
Am I right in thinking if you're Welsh coming to a UK uni, you pay, I think, £3,000 a year?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
No,
Okay.
they used to. The Welsh government did have it used to be that if you went to a school, a comprehensive school or a secondary school in Wales, and you then went to university in England, I don't know about Ireland. Scotland, it's a bit different anyway, because if you're from Scotland and you go to uni in Scotland, you don't have to pay full fees, I don't think.
Right.
You don't have to,
that rings a bell somewhere.
But if you are from England, or maybe Wales as well, and you go to uni in Scotland, I think you still have to pay full fees. It's still about £9,000, I think. Anyway, I'm not sure. But yeah, no, it used to be the case that if you went to a secondary school in Wales and you then went to university in England, you would only pay a third of the fees, I think.
Yeah.
But it's not the case anymore. I think last year or maybe 2 years ago, the Welsh government scrapped that because it didn't really make much sense.
So had you gone to like a private school in Swansea, you'd then have to pay full fees in
that I don't know because I went to a private school in England, but I went to a secondary school in Wales. So I was in a state comprehensive for 5 years, and then I went to another school for sixth form in England. But I think because I went to a secondary school, I was entitled to.
I mean, you'd be mad not to make the most of that entitlement.
Yes, but unfortunately, it's not the case anymore. And anyone who goes to uni in Wales or England, and it used to be the case that if you were English and you went to school in England and you went to university in Wales, you would still be paying full fees.
It wasn't the same, vice versa.
It was quite an odd scheme. But yeah, as I said, they've got rid of it now. And if you go to uni anywhere, you've got to pay full fees essentially. Apart from Scotland, which I think if you are Scottish and you went to school in Scotland and you go to uni in Scotland, you don't have to pay full fees. It might even be free. But I don't know. I don't know.
Don't quote me on that either.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But if you're from any other part of the UK and you go to a university in Wales, Scotland, Ireland, or England, you have to pay full fees, I think.
No, that sounds about right. So like when this was all announced, everything will be online, etc., I just felt like inherently angry. But I don't even know who I'm directing that towards. Does that make sense?
Well, I think you're perfectly entitled to feel angry, especially because given everything that has gone on this year, excluding COVID, which is obviously no one's fault, it's not been in anybody's control, but even before COVID you had university strikes.
That's true.
So it's not like COVID was the only thing that disrupted universities, because even before that, I remember when I was at uni, when I was on my year abroad, strikes were happening at the most important time of the year, like March to April, I think.
Talk about kicking you when you're down.
Yeah, exactly. And even last November, I think, there were strikes up and down the country at universities. And students didn't have to go into, I think students didn't have to actually go into university because their lecturers were all on strike. And the lecturers are perfectly within their right to strike, of course. I'm not blaming the lecturers.
It has been a very disrupted few years of study.
Yeah.
And I was discussing this with some friends, and I was like, is it the uni's fault? And like we kind of like came to the conclusion that it's not really in their control. I mean, if every other university in the country is charging £9,250, they can't really not charge that amount. Yeah. It's kind of has to be like, we all do it or we all don't kind of thing. Like otherwise they'll be at a massive disadvantage and offering a less good course because they haven't got enough money as opposed to all the other unis. So I would just, I guess it is no one's really fault. It's just someone needs to kind of make an overarching decision as to like, we need to just lower things for everyone because this is just ridiculous.
Yeah, it is ridiculous.
But we'll all still carry paying it because that's the way to get a job, they say. Yeah.
And on that note, we will go on our own strike. No, we're not going to go on a strike, but we are going to take a very, very short break, and we will be back with you soon.
আপনি হয়তোবা জানেন না যে রেডিও অ্যাডভার্টাইজমেন্ট ইজ 4 times more powerful than any other media. রিল্যাক্স রেডিওতে যদি অ্যাডভার্টাইজ করতে চান তাহলে আমাদেরকে আজই যোগাযোগ করুন on 020-7474-9292. আমাদের সাথে অ্যাডভার্টাইজ করুন from £99 a month. Increase your business by advertising on Relax Radio.
It's time for a show on Relax Radio. It talks about me and you. It's time for a show on Relax Radio. It talks about me and you. So listen to us, 24 hours, and let the happiness come to you on Relax Radio. Tune in to Relax Radio.
It has been too long. No one has taken the initiative to know who you are and what you do. Well, Relax proudly presents Relax Media to unite and expose all media-related personalities under one umbrella. If you are an artist or maybe you're looking for one, look no further. Log on to www.relaxmedia.com. RELAKS media.com. In return, you get a free webpage and exposure to wider fan appreciation and contacts. Also, optional personal manager. Don't delay. Relax Radio.
Welcome back to the uni show.
Don't mind us just talking about sleep like two middle-aged women.
Well, we are getting there, aren't we?
We are.
Speak for yourself. So we
how much sleep did you get last night?
A good amount. So I learnt from my mistake last week. Last week was our first time back in the studio, and foolishly I believed that I could function like having had like a very late night the night before, and stumbled in bleary-eyed, late, as per usual.
You didn't look that bad though, to be fair.
Thank you. I mean, I felt terrible, but it was all an illusion. So last night I went to bed at about 10:30.
Dream.
Which was amazing.
Dream.
And yeah, how about you? How much sleep have you been getting like recently?
Quite a lot, actually. I've been so tired during the week, so I've been going to bed at like 10:30, 11. But yeah, it's just like during the week you just get so tired.
Yeah. So you're working full time. To be fair, I'm still on summer technically.
Yeah. And we've been back in the office. I was in the office Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday this week, which is the longest I've been back in the office.
Yeah.
And it's just, I love it. I love being in the office and I love seeing my colleagues, but it is so much more tiring being back in the office than working from home. Obviously, working from home, you're still doing stuff, but when you're actually in the office, you've got you've just got so much more to do. And this week it was really, really busy. So yeah, I slept pretty well this week, but last night went to bed at like 11:30, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
So like on a normal day, that's okay. Not on a relaxed day.
Yeah.
Relax being the radio, not actually relaxing. Although it's both, obviously. We're here to relax.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, I did. I am quite sleepy today, though. I'm getting quite sleepy. I think we definitely need to get a coffee.
I mean,
this.
Ideally, Costa is opposite the studio.
Yes, or there is Bean About Town, which is the little place near Bow Road Station.
Support your locals.
Highly recommend it if you are in the area. They do such delicious coffee. And they have loads and loads of snacks as well, like flapjacks, pastries.
Bean About Town, sponsor us.
Yes, please do give us free coffee. You also get a coffee card as well.
That's really cute. Oh, I do like a good loyalty card. It always does entice me to come back.
It's a good incentive to come back.
Really,
absolutely
really is.
Yeah.
So the nail bar I go to, not that I get my nails done often, they look shocking right now. They also do like a loyalty card.
Oh right.
And it just really is. It does. It makes you go back. I don't tend to get my nails done often, but I have been doing it fairly often recently.
Well, especially if it's good service as well. If
they're
it's
lovely.
Really good service, and it's a local business as well.
Yeah.
Then you're doing your bit to support local businesses.
Completely.
So.
So I know like a lot of people have like back and forth chat with like their hairdressers. That's kind of like me and my nail technician. Like, how's your week been? Like, yeah, like it's been going well. Like XYZ, ranting about this, that, and the other.
Oh, I'm actually getting my haircut today. I just remembered.
That's exciting. Is it going to be a wild?
No, it's just a haircut. The last time I got my haircut was, oh God, middle of July, I think.
That's still okay.
Quite a while, and I did get quite a lot cut off. But yeah, when you can tell that your hair's getting a bit draggly at the ends and
I feel that I haven't had my hair cut since November.
Yeah, and I actually really like going to the hairdresser.
Me too.
It's so nice having someone just wash your hair and kind of massage your scalp, and
it is lush.
Yeah, it's so nice having someone do it for you, and I do love getting my hair. Yeah, I just love getting my hair washed by someone else.
Absolutely.
Someone playing with my hair.
So relaxing.
So
also someone
relaxing.
Straightening it. Anyone playing with my hair. I know some people have massive issues with that, but for me, it's kind of like my kryptonite. I just kind of like go into like cat sloth mode.
Relaxing. So
really,
relaxing.
really nice.
Yes. So what else have you got planned for this weekend?
This weekend, what have we got planned? So I'm doing the rounds of friends who have just moved out this weekend. Yesterday I went to see my friend who's just moved into the most amazing, it's actually an old Airbnb on Brick Lane.
Oh.
Yeah, well it's just off Brick Lane, but her room overlooks Brick Lane. So it's prime location. It's actually, I don't know if you know Serial Killers. It's like a cereal cafe that's just gone under. It's just gone bust, sadly.
Okay.
Didn't survive lockdown. But yeah, they're opposite Serial Killers, if you know it.
Okay.
We went for like coffee on like a really cool independent coffee shop.
Nice.
Also down the road. It is a very long road, to be fair. Brick Lane is a good like 20-minute walk from end to end.
Yeah.
But it's just such an ideal location. And today I am off to see my friend's flat in South London.
Very nice.
Which is a bit of a jungle.
Yeah.
Don't know how I'm going to get there. I reckon it's going to involve the Victoria line, because any journey to South London always seems to involve the Victoria
line or the Northern Line. Ironically.
Yeah. And tomorrow I am starting my volunteering with Oxfam at Selfridges.
Very nice.
Which is really exciting.
That'll be good.
I know that they had they started on Monday. Oxfam has got a pop-up shop in Selfridges as part of like a green kind of initiative made by Selfridges. So I'll update you on that next week.
Yes, please do.
But yeah, no, I'm really excited. I know Oxfam was very happy because they ended up selling a Jean Paul Gaultier 2-piece suit yesterday for £450.
Very good.
Well spent. So hopefully that's going directly to those who need it.
Yeah.
What about you, Rach? What are your upcoming plans?
I have a driving lesson, actually. I'm still driving, still learning to drive in London.
Okay.
It's hard, but I'm getting there slowly.
Are you learning on manual or automatic?
No, manual.
Yeah,
definitely.
agreed.
Yeah,
That is the way to go.
Yeah, I know obviously everything is going to be automatic. Everything's going to be electric in like 5 or 10 years, definitely.
Which is good.
It is good. But I think, it's just easy to do it on. And also my parents have a manual. So if I were to drive their car, I would need to learn how to drive a manual. But yeah, I think just coffee with you and then driving, and then we shall see where the weekend
well, that's the best kind of plan. So one of my friends is like a primary school teacher, and she's just kind of like made the decision to do spontaneous plans, which I really like the idea of. It's like the idea of not planning something 5 days in advance when you feel good. It's getting to the day and then being like, hey, who's free today, kind of thing. Unless it's like a birthday. But we are all for the spontaneous plans. I hope that whatever you are doing today,
it's spontaneous.
It's spontaneous, but it's also fun and rewarding
and relaxing.
And I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Relaxing. That you've been listening to the Uni Show with me, Kate,
and me, Rach. We wish you a lovely weekend, and we will see you back here next Saturday at 9 o'clock.
Don't go anywhere.
Have a great weekend.
Bye.